Hey guys, I'm back for some more Art of War 3. Alright, so the avia balance has just come out, like a day or two ago, and now I'm here to test it out. Okay, in a 2v2. So let's do our usual. Okay, scouting with a red boost, collecting all those containers, and upgrading our base along the way. Okay. So I'm actually going for HQ level 3 as of right now, because I collected an excess amount of containers, and that was actually pretty good. Okay, so it turns out my enemy's assaults are actually pretty decent, not maxed of course, pretty decent. So I make a coyote just for a small base defense, just in case if the opponent is going to scout me again. Alright, so I ask my ally to scout blue, but he cannot because of the bunker built right there. And so I decide to scout with a coyote, and these two bunkers destroy my coyote just as I see two assault vehicle factories and HQ level 2. So there's a pretty good chance of either a fortress or a hammer rush. And green, HQ level 2, assault vehicle factory being built. I just plopped down an air defense just in case they could deceive us. And I said I'm going to produce fighters. My ally said okay, and he's going to produce some vehicles as well. Okay, so now I decide to scout green out with my coyote. And we can see that he has two assault vehicle factories producing hammers. So I have a very big feeling that both of them are going to hammer rush either one of us. And so my ally takes the time to lay mines, and that's a pretty good idea, since hammers don't really have good splash damage to force fire on the mines, or a mine detection feature. Okay, so I scout green with a hawk and see he has a pretty decent number of hammers and assaults. And so now I decide to scout blue. We can see that he has air defense and he's going HQ level 3. Okay, so that's a red light. Well, not a red light, but a yellow light. Going HQ 3 is a pretty big tech advantage, but since both me and my ally are HQ level 3, that's pretty good. I said SOS help me here, because this is a huge attack force. I cannot defend it, because I usually don't have troops out at this moment. Especially since I do not gold boost. I don't really have any real kind of units out, especially since I go HQ 3 or 4 immediately. And green sacrifices all of those units. I don't know if it was intentional or if there was lag to prevent him from proceeding with the attack. Okay, but my four Jaguars and a little help from my ally was easily able to finish off the attack. And now, as you guys can see, I am going HQ level 4. HQ level 4 is actually a pretty good tech advantage. So compared to the other HQs, HQ level 3 and HQ level 4 have a way higher tech advantage than their previous HQ. HQ 3 unlocking heavy units, and HQ 4 unlocking super late game units like Chameleon and Albatross. And in this battle, I am here to test out the Albatross, especially since the new avia update spruced them up a little bit. Okay, so I built the airfield on top of the hill, because if there's a large force attacking my base, he would not be able to see my airfield on the hill, and since bombers cannot react suddenly, they have to be in a safe place. Okay, so my ally has laid mines across the terrain, One can call this resistance camping, but then again, no towers are out, no walls are out, and I deploy some walls. Yeah. Walls and mines, pretty good defense right there. But I intentionally do not build any towers, especially since they are weak. And look at these torrents raining fire. Okay, so my ally does a little probe on the enemy's base defense, and a pretty good idea, especially since it makes the enemy's troops go on top of the hill, excluding the torrents, of course. But he has to fall back because he doesn't have enough firepower to successfully launch an attack. Okay, first Albatross is out, and my full squad of 4 Hawks are right there. And so, I decide to upgrade 2 avia factories to level 3 for continuous Albatross production. And I build more airfields to house more Albatross. Okay, so Torrent Fire and Zeus coming on the hill. Too many Zeus. I tell him to fall back immediately because this is a force too strong to attack. Okay, there's one assault right here as a scout, and the scout has been killed. Okay, so Albatross actually takes quite some time to produce. Actually, faster to produce than a chameleon. So that's actually a pretty good idea, going Albatross. Okay, another construction yard. And my ally actually tries to scout, but the walls on top of the hill make the rifleman invisible to the bunker, and so the bunker engages the rifleman, killing it. Okay. So I got a pretty good number of Albatross and a nice solid HQ. And I scout over there. I was like, I'm gonna bomb this area. Because if you saw that scout very closely, you saw that there was a lot of units clumped together. And so I send my Albatross with a common attack boost. Yeah, nice. But somehow, he moved his troops, probably thinking that he knew I had Albatross. Enemy Vertex engage my Albatross, just as my ally's Albatross destroys a construction yard. And so, my Albatross redock, and my ally's Chameleon is being engaged, so I was like, defend this area. And the Chameleon was deployed just in time. Okay. So, rebuilding the lost Albatross. Okay. Enemy Vertex just attacked that airfield. More enemy Vertex are coming. But I built anti-air on top of the hill. And since the avia update actually buffed up anti-air, nice interception from that Hawk. Okay, so since the avia update actually buffed anti-air, it's easier to take down fighters. Okay, that's a really good torrent engagement. And I decide to help my partner with an Albatross to bomb those units. And here we go. That's a good bomb run. I literally just obliterated like what, 6-7 Zeus, maybe a torrent in the middle. So I would say that's a pretty good engagement. There's still enough units from my ally to finish it off, but my hopes went down immediately as green moved in. So I was like, SOS, help me right here. I decide to move in and engage with my Hawks. I don't really focus on maneuvering my Hawks, as there is no anti-air present. Okay. So, the heavily tanked up Zeus avoided some of the mines, but exploded on some of the mines. But since Zeus is so strong in HP and armor, they withstood the mines pretty well. Okay. So I have 8 Jaguars positioned over there. Okay, so Vertex engages my airfield as my Hawks land. That's actually a pretty good technique. Since my Hawks don't have time to refuel, they cannot engage the Vertex at a quick time. And since I did not have enough anti-air towers over there, the Vertex were able to destroy it. And so I decided to rebuild the airfield and send my Hawks to destroy the Zeus. But fuel is out, of course. Low fuel. I wasn't able to recover the airfield by the time my Hawks ran out of fuel. Yeah. Right, so now I'm going to attack an HQ level 4 with 8 Albatross. Okay, let's see how this goes. Okay, nice. Okay, so we easily saw that 8 Albatross, and keep in mind my Albatross isn't even close to max. It only has like 15 total upgrades on health, armor, fuel, and bombs. 6 upgrades on the bomb to be precise, 6 out of 20. So there's a lot of upgrades to do on my Albatross. And since 8 were able to take down his HQ, that's actually pretty good. Since now Albatrosses have some immense firepower, Hawks kind of seem obsolete and pointless to build, especially in the late game. Like 12 Hawks at minute 15, 10, 15 would be pretty good, pretty decent, but Albatross rules in the late game now. And the only real reason you would use Hawks is to intercept fighters or bombers, like that. Mostly bombers, since ground anti-air can't really deal with bombers that easily. Okay, so my partner actually wanted me to attack green. I foresaw this happening because I didn't have any porcupines to deal with the Vertex. Okay, so my Jaguars are easily destroyed and crumpled as the Vertex flies over. Okay. So he was like, scout this airfield that I have, and he was like, attack this, the enemy airfields. And so I was like, okay, sure, yeah, that's actually a pretty good idea. So I send all of my Albatross to bomb the airfields. And boom, 12 Albatross was enough to destroy a level 2 avia factory and 2 airfields. But as the Vertex are super fast, they were able to intercept an Albatross. But foolishly went into the anti-air and died. Okay, so now the Vertex's fuel is out and they're going off the map. So that's karma right there. Okay, repairing the airfield and making an Albatross. Okay, nice. So basically right now we're just like, basically all of us, we're all just like sitting in our bases, basically doing nothing. Okay, anyways, my ally decides to attack with a few number of Jaguars and Mammoths, along with a couple Chameleons. I was like, I'm gonna attack this area, it looks nice and juicy. Okay, incoming Albatross. Now that looks satisfying. Like, the way the camera shakes and the graphics of the Confederation buildings exploding, that looks satisfying. And as my Albatross returned home, Green decides to strike me with a couple of his Zeus and Typhoons. As I said before, this is after the aviation update. And in the aviation update, when an Albatross goes up to bomb, it loses a lot more fuel. 125% more to be exact. Along with an immediate 30% loss upon takeoff. So, as my Albatross returned, it didn't cancel that. Okay, so here we go. Now that's a solid bomb run. Okay, so as I was saying before, as my Albatross returned, they ran out of fuel completely, and so it took a long time to replenish the fuel that it lost. Okay, so I need my allies' support to defend that engagement, leaving the mammoths off to die by the cyclones and heavy assaults. Okay, the splash damage of the mammoths kill a couple heavy assaults and weaken the Zeus's armor, but doesn't stand a chance to the cyclones. And so now my resources are stockpiling. You guys can see I have 1.7 thousand resources. Okay, now I decide to go on another bombing run, this time with a gold air attack boost. So yeah, let's see how it goes. 1 HQ down, 2 HQs down, along with a vehicle factory. 2 HQs down. That is really good. Okay, let's do this. Boom. Another 2 buildings destroyed. So at this moment, blue is technically crippled, relying on the Typhoons to deal the anti-air damage. If you rely on Typhoons to deal the anti-air damage, that's not really good. Especially when anti-air towers deal like 50% more damage and have higher missile velocity to deal more damage. Okay, so green kind of probes our base defenses, but basically fails because my ally has them covered. Okay, HQ level 5, and I got a ton of Albatross. Okay, common attack, and now I'm gonna completely obliterate blue. Good. Okay, so I had 16 bombers right there. Okay, nice. So I had 16 bombers right there. Okay, so 16 did some pretty good damage. I split them up into 8 bombers in one group, 4 bombers in another, and 4 bombers in the last group. And so splitting them up and attacking at the same time resulted in a huge base destruction. I'm gonna call that like a plow through tactic. Like, that's what I name it. There isn't really a tactic, so I invented it. So yeah, give me all the credit, please. Yes. Alright, so anyways, my ally is here with the JCP, and he's gonna attack. Okay, so Vertex coming in and trying to engage, but the porcupines were able to destroy them. As I told you earlier in the video, anti-air has been significantly increased. Okay. So blue is attacking, so I spam rifleman and I send my Albatross. Okay, nice. And so the Albatross were able to destroy all of the ground forces, leaving the Cyclones vulnerable to my riflemen being produced, while my allies JCP is completely shredding Green's base. And so Green self-destructs his own base. Okay. Blue attempts to scout my base with a Cyclone, it seems. Okay, but my anti-air tower was able to destroy that. Okay, my allies' troops are shredding the base. Okay, nice. That's really nice. Okay, so now since it's the end of the battle, I decide to deal some damage and take out my allies' HQ. Of course, just for the memes. I'm not a battle hater. Of course, I need to build another HQ because I need more resources that HQs build. Okay, so I built one in his spot. He was like, contract? I was like, finish. Okay, so he said charge, and I sent all my bombers. Nice. So you would think good game, right? No. Battle actually didn't end. So now he was like, go scout that point. He's going to scout that area. And now I'm gonna attack his units to see how much... Okay, so how much damage Albatross deals to allied units. As you guys know or not know, damage to allied units has a 50% reduction. So if your Albatross deals, say, the max damage of 4,400, only 2,200 will be registered to your allied units. So, yeah. Basically to prevent, like, you destroying your units by accident, something like that. Especially since splash damage of your own troops can kill your own troops sometimes. Okay. So as those bombers go in, it's a good game.